Franchising involves two parties, a franchisor, say McDonald's, and a franchisee, any independent entrepreneur who wants to open a McDonald's store. A contractual agreement between a franchisor and a retail franchisee, which allows the franchisee to conduct a given form of business, in case of McDonald's, the fast food business, under an established name and according to some given pattern of business which has been evolved by the franchisor. In a typical agreement, the franchisee pays a fee and a percent of sales in return for exclusive selling rights. The major advantages, disadvantages, like any other format, it is also there. Let me talk about it for the franchisee first, and then I will move to the franchisor. The advantages are relatively small investment and a well known name and a good and service line, whatever it is you get it. You also get the standard operating procedures and the skills. You get exclusive territorial selling. These are all advantages of somebody who wants to start up a business using a franchising model. The disadvantages, it could be potential oversaturation. You could see a McDonald's in every street on two different places. And the franchisor could be overstating the sales and profit to attract the franchisee. And when you start the business, you find out that it is not really that attractive as it is told earlier. And then there is the agreement, you can't go beyond that. You can't do business on your own, according to your own interest. There are provisions of cancellation, of course, and the agreements are relatively short term, which is renewed after 6 months, 1 year, 2 year period, and then the royalties are tied to sales most often. And what are the advantages and disadvantages for the franchisor, like a McDonald over here? The advantages: a fast establishment of a chain, you can penetrate to the market like a jiffy. You have control over franchisee's qualification, whom do you want to give the franchisee, whom do you do not want to. Your cash flow improves without actually investing in the business. Strict regulations over operations, you can control the operations, your standardized operation which you have perfected. The franchisee is motivated by ownership and the royalties after the sale of the franchisee, which are obvious advantages, but there are disadvantages too. The disadvantages would be all different franchisees that you have, that could have lack of uniformity in spite of your best efforts. So, that affects your brand name. And then competition between franchisee, the intra franchisee competition could also hamper your business. Resale value of the units are affected by franchisee. Poor units reduce the royalties, some units not doing so well, your cash flow gets affected, and over a period of time the franchisees could look for independence, the desire for independence, and then they may go for back end integration or forward integration, and thereby your business could be compromised. The next category is the leased department. It is a department in a retail store. Usually it could be a department or a discount or a specialty kind of a store that is rented to an outside party. The leased department operator is responsible for the operations and pays the store a certain percentage of sales as a rent. The leased department broadens the merchandise or service offering of the stores. They are most common for in-store beauty salons or shoe or jewelry or cosmetics, watch repair, shoe repair departments. So, these are the kind of things, if they are originally not there in an apparel or lifestyle store, then an addition of that by a third party always adds the variety and assortment of the store under consideration. The presence of various perfumes, designer watches, jewelry in department store is an example of this format. Immediately I can think of is Jilly, Gitanjali Jewelers in Shoppers Stop. They are one of the first to look at this lease department model. This is also called shop-in-shop format. Then the next category is consumer cooperatives. Consumer cooperative is a retail firm that is owned by its customers. In a cooperative arrangement, a group of customers invest in the company, elect officers who in turn manage the operations, and they share the profit or savings that accrue. Cooperative retail formats have been one of the more successful formats in rural India. The example is of course Amul, all of us know about it.